Alright everyone, we are on the play. This isn't the best hand, but I think I'm just going to keep it. Like, if we draw any of our 3-drops, the hand is very, very good. If we draw, I don't know, this hand seems fine, I guess. We're going to see how good it actually is. Reckless Eraser. So that is a 3-drop. That's not the best one, but it is very good, right? Yahenni is obviously the best 3-drop, but Yahenni is always the best 3-drop. Okay, so they play a Verdant Automaton. That is something I could sacrifice later, I suppose. Looking at this Amalthus squad pretty happily. The question is when Reckless Racer attacks next turn, which seems inevitable at this point, what do I do? Or I can actually play Amalthus squad and then Crew Dreadnought attack for 7, which is pretty sick. Dreadnought might be good. We'll see. Card could be good. I mean, if our opponent just plays like a Defiant Salvager and passes, then they just get hit for 7. They can hit me back for 3. That's fine. I don't mind. They can throw their Verdant Automaton away to not get hit. So the question is, when I play that, what do I get rid of? Because Reckless Racer and Vehicles is just like the sickest combo. The absolute sickest combo. Huh. Interesting, our opponent taking a while here. What's gonna happen? Alright, is our opponent going to attack? If so, we will not block, because they could have Rush of Vitality, or a bunch of things like that. Alright, our opponent does not block. We are going to draw land. Ooh, a Sweatworks Brawler. That's pretty good too. I feel more comfortable discarding Wrangle now. I'm just going to make this a 4-2. I'm going to crew it up. Going to discard Wrangle. Draw an Aether Poisoner, that's fine. And I'm going to try to get in for 7 on turn 4. Turns out that's above average, yeah. Alright, our opponent just has to do that. Excellent, so I have some interesting plays next turn, actually. Yeah, that doesn't really... I'm very happy I put the counter on Amalthus squad. Because that suddenly does absolutely nothing to me, I should say. Yahenni Undying Partisan. That doesn't do that much either, unfortunately. Although I can attack with it, maybe? What happens if I just play Sweatworks Brawler? So I still want to tap Amalthus squad and Reckless Racer. Yeah. I want to discard Aether Poisoner. Land, excellent. Alright, so that means that I am going to get to play Wayward Giant this turn. I assume my opponent is going to chump block while I play Wayward Giant, so I am filling up my board while my opponent just continues to chump block on my 7-11. Definitely an unfortunate start from my opponent, I guess, but I don't know if they could have really done anything differently. Alright, I mean, I guess that works. So as you can see, we're kind of, we're a little more than even on cards. I think we might even be up right now. I'm not going to attack with Wayward. Well, if he makes a token, then I'm going to consider attacking with Wayward Giant. Yeah, if he makes a token, I'm definitely attacking with Wayward Giant. If I draw a land, then things get a little interesting, but not really. Ooh, Servo Schematic. So, now I get to play Servo Schematic. Wait. I play Servo Schematic, I play Sweatworks Brawler, so I'm definitely just attacking with Menace, right? Menace is the king to rule them all, so to speak. And then I'm going to play Servo Schematic. I don't need to play Yahenni this turn, because I can play Yahenni whenever, obviously. Just going to tap all my lands and the Servo Schematic, play Sweatworks Brawler, and now we are in good shape. So obviously we were in perfect shape before, but we attacked with a 4-5 because we didn't want the Consulate Dreadnought just to get chumped by a Servo. Obviously we are okay with anything that happens here. We're not in great shape anymore, right? Like, there are definitely situations in which our opponent plays, something that can block for a long time, and all of a sudden it's not great for us, such as this situation, perhaps. My plan is to play Yahenni and tap Sweatworks Brawler, Servo, Yahenni in order to crew Consulate Dreadnought. also attacking with Wayward Giant, because if my opponent wants to kill Wayward Giant, they have to block with Oval Chase, Daredevil, and a Servo. And that's okay with me. I'll just take 2 counters on the Henny, obviously. Defiant Salvager is also good. I think I'm going to play Henny, though, because my opponent's way more likely to block this turn. Just get in there. No reason not to. He's not, I mean, they can't really just take 11 this turn, can they? They gotta block something, and with the Henny, that's just, like, so good for me. So, right, so this means they're not going to kill the Wayward Giant, which just makes it harder for them next turn. Now, they do have 2 forests, so they can play Greenbelt Rampager, return to their hand, Greenbelt Rampager, stick it on the battlefield. That is possible here. And I do have plenty of servos to sack to things. Next turn, I'm going to be able to play Defiant Salvager, sack Servo Schematic, get another servo, which is pretty sick. I don't know what the shadow is, like, right here. I'm going to try to fix that. I have a light in that direction, and in that direction, and in that direction, so there shouldn't be any, whatever. I'm such a noob at this whole setup thing. It's like I've been doing this for 4 months, and I still haven't figured it out. Like, what's going on here, Sam? Unbelievable. But anyways, thank you for watching. I'm glad you enjoyed my videos. I hope you enjoy my videos, all the Modern Master stuff that is coming out today, coming around. If you think of any great topics for tomorrow's video, definitely let me know. Would love to hear what you think about possible topics. We'll see, we'll see. Swamp Forest. These little guys are running away from a giant. Well, the giant follows the flow of Aether, and twice a year it leads them through here. Lesson learned, more clearance is needed. Oh, alright. SRAM knows what's up, apparently. This is also only game number 1. Keep that in mind. Here's Greenbelt Rampager. I imagine they're going to play it again, and that time, next time, it's going to stick on the battlefield. This does mean that Narnam Cobra doesn't get Death Touch, which is probably a little unfortunate. Daring Demolition is going to be very useful if I'm able to draw a second black source. Okay, so what can I Consulate Dreadnought? So I can attack with Sweatworks Brawler. There's no need to attack with either of these guys. So I'm just going to do this and attack with Dreadnought, Brawler. Right, yeah, because even if he throws away Daredevil and then gets it back next turn, that's not something I'm super worried about. And all this time, he's getting counter, so even if he's blocking the 7-11, he's just, like, slowly dying, basically. Like, he's just slowly throwing away all of his cards, all of his possible card advantage. Yeah. Right, so this is fine. I just get to kill Daredevil here, do 4 to him, put him to 8. Get 2 counters on Yahenni here, and then hopefully next turn I can draw a swamp, kill the Narnam Cobra, and then kill him, basically. I mean, this is definitely a good spot to be in. We no longer die to a second Yahenni's expertise, right? Suddenly we are left with a 5-5 and a 4-5, while he is left with a Narnam Cobra. So playing around second Yahenni's expertise, just kidding, not actually playing around it, was just mentioning it. Alright, so Prey Upon. That's a reason to sack another servo to Defiant Salvager next time. And infinite chump blockers. Interesting. So still would really like to draw a Daring Demolition. Or a land for Daring Demolition. It's a good card for me. I'm just going to attack with Wayward Giant and Yahenni here. No need to attack with anything else. Daredevil in the back with 2 servos is going to be plenty of stuff to crew with the Consulate Dreadnought. Not plenty, but like just the right amount to crew the Dreadnought. Huh. I mean, he knows he has to block this twice. I wonder what 2 blocks I'm getting. Alright, so our opponent has blocked with Rampager, 2 servos, and a Weapon Crop Enthusiast here. So I'm just going to kill the Rampager. It's just the biggest thing. I'm not worried about the 2 servos taking out the Wayward Giant. Obviously, that adds future blockers for Yahenni. But, I mean, it's going to be pretty hard for them to kill Yahenni anyways. At some point, it's just going to kill them. I also have like 2 more threaten effects to draw to also kill them. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to be okay here, I think. Alright, they're on Daredevil, obviously. So I think Arya is just going to be better than their Daredevil, I would assume. Ooh, a Lathnu Sailback. That is awesome. I'm going to attack with the Daredevil as well. No need to. I'm just going to attack with the Henny. There's also no reason to fire up the Dreadnought here. So now Yahenni's going to be lethal. And so now we're going to figure out how to make lethal attacks next turn as well. So we're definitely in the lead here. We're definitely a big favorite in this game. I think we're going to be able to figure it out. I would hope. I would hope we can figure this one out. Again, this deck is very powerful. It is an aggro deck with a late game because of the Wrangles and because Yahenni goes so big and things like that. So now he's going to be willing to sacrifice, basically trade the Cobra for a servo and get a servo. Cyber Requisitioner is actually like pretty annoying. It's not like good annoying, it's just annoying in the sense that like now I have to do a little more work here. They're just not dying for some reason, I don't really know why. Alright, so he's got to block this because this is lethal, obviously. Alright. Looks like they're just dying. Yep, alright, we did it. Game 1, great success. On to Game 2 here. Don't really care about Reckless Fireweaver or Giant Spectacle here. I think everything in our deck is pretty okay. Maybe we could take a Fire Fortress Puzzle. Maybe it like does just enough here. It kills a bunch of their small things. The question is what do we take out for it? I don't see taking out a Demolition. We already have a Pyrohelix. That also kills a bunch of their little things. So they showed us like Cobra. They obviously have a bunch of servos, so this can deal with some servos. Maybe we just take out a Fretwork Colony on the draw? No, it's still probably good enough. Do we take out a Daring Demolition? I think we do. I think we only need one. With Hijack, 2 Wrangles, all of our stuff to kill their little things, we can just deal with one. This is not a keepable hand, although it would be on 2 lands, because then theoretically Glint Thief Siphoner would get to draw a card. But on 1 land, this just isn't good enough. This is going to have to be good enough on 1 land. Bottom. Has a black land to cast all of our 2-drops, and it has a plethora of 2-drops. Alright, I mean, that was the best draw that's not a land. Actually, Augmenting Automaton was probably the best draw that's not a land. But now we gotta draw a land. We have 3 looks at a land. I'd be pretty disappointed if we're not able to find one here. And we do. Alright, so get it started with a Fretwork Colony. Just the best card here. I mean, our opponent can't kill it at instant speed here, I don't think. Yeah. Natural Obsolescence. Obsolescence, sorry, not Obsolescence. I'm always used to saying Opalescence, and oh, whatever. You all know the deal at this point. Alright, little High Spire Artisan action. So, attacking with Fretwork Colony isn't going to do anything here. They didn't make a servo, so that makes Aether Poisoner a lot better than it was a second and a half ago. Would love to draw a red land, but don't. Nice little Aether Poisoner action. Could have also played Servo Schematic to get ready in case we draw the 5/5. But, you know, I mean, we wouldn't even be ready for it necessarily, so... This is a spot in which Fretwork Colony on 2 is just going to be pretty good. So they do have the Weaponcraft Enthusiast for the Aether Poisoner to deal with it. Oh, wow. See, this is odd to me. I don't understand not making servos, because now I can just attack with Aether Poisoner. Interesting. Not going to attack with Aether Poisoner, but I guess I could here. Just going to play Servo Schematic. Yeah, this is a spot in which I'm not super happy to be in, but we're here, so we just gotta deal with it. Luckily, it's not like our opponent's doing a... okay. I was just about to say, it's not like our opponent's doing a ton, and then they win the game, basically. Alright, I think we're... I mean, we're not dead. We can always draw outs, I guess, but... we don't have a ton of those. Alright, I mean, not super excited here. We have to draw, like, land, daring demolition, and then we're going to be at 2. So if we draw anything that's... if we basically draw anything that's not a land, we're kind of just dead. They have a Yahenni too? What up? What up, Yahenni? What's poppin'? My name's Sam, how's it going? So we can play a Reckless Racer. We can also play a Wrangle here. I think I'm just going to attack with this. Power 4 or less. It's so tilting. This is exactly power 4. Can also attack with a Poisoner, but then you can just like, nah. Attacking with Poisoner isn't good because then you can just like sacrifice the High Spires into Yahenni. So I'm just going to attack with playing Reckless Racer. Also makes it so that we can not only play a little more defense, but other than playing a little more defense, it gives us a better chance of drawing what we need, which is land Daring Demolition, or Daring Demolition land. They can really come in any order here. He's going to bounce the Rampager back to his hand, and then he's going to play another Rampager. So if we draw a red land, we might just go Wrangle. We might like steal his Yahenni and his Greenbelt Rampager. I mean, the only chance we have is to erase him, so we got to do it somehow. Alright, we're dead here. Excellent. Ugh. Not what we wanted to do. We didn't want to die to Aetherborn Marauder. Alright, Daring Demolition back in. Fire Fortress Balls not out. How do they have their own Yahenni? I have a question about Yahenni that you're going to answer me in the comments after I play badly with it. This is my Yahenni question. Hold on, I'm going to try to turn on the light. Maybe that'll fix all the shadow nonsense going on here. Here's my Yahenni question. That kind of helped. Here's my Yahenni question. Oh, first of all, keep. If I steal their Yahenni with Wrangle, then do I have to sacrifice one of them? I assume the answer is yes. But I'm also not a professional Yahenni plus Wrangle player, so I might not know. It could just be that I have no idea, and it could also just be that I have no idea. That's kind of gross, because that means it's going to get into play next turn, if he has another forest. But I am going to be able to attack with Glintsteel Siphoner still, so even though he's going to be able to get in for 3, I'm going to be able to draw a card, which is very, very good on the play. I can also play a nice little Defiant Salvager to set up for a Hijack or whatever. Yep, so 2 mana 3/4 turns out to be very, very powerful and limited. Luckily, we have a nice little rare of our own here. Ooh. That could set up a nice little attack ski on the next turn. Gonna play a Defiant Salvager. So we have a Daring Demolition for whatever they throw our way. We have a Hijack to hijack something, sack it to Defiant Salvager. We could also just, you know, whatever. We have a lot of options here. Harsh Scrutiny is gonna entirely whiff. Ugh, feels so good. Feels so, so good. They might just concede here. I'd be tempted to concede. I have no idea. Is this like a pearl? Is this a thing with a mouth? I'm very confused here. That's okay. Yeah, so Glintsteel Siphoner is going to draw us a card next turn. And then it's going to get to attack because, I mean, if he plays another creature, then we're going to hijack something. And if he doesn't play another creature, then we're just going to attack with Glintsteel Siphoner. So all that's good. I can get Prey Upon here, though, I guess, which he might be thinking about. If he does pass, we could hijack and attack with everything just so that nothing gets Prey Upon. Yeah, so they're attacking and then prey pawning, I imagine, so that we don't, like, 2-for-1 them. Not, I mean, there's no real reason to. Yeah, prey pawn, there we go. Alright, just gonna take control of that guy. Going to attack for 1,000,000. And then I'm going to sacrifice that. Alright, we did it. We attacked for 1,000,000. We sacrificed a dude. Your turn. What is this? Oval Chase Daredevil. So that's actually an interesting card here. It's very hard for us to beat. But we do have Servo Schematic. Sometimes you get there. Just going to sacrifice a schematic and one of the servos. Should I sacrifice another one? Just so that Hunt the Weak doesn't get us? Yeah, maybe. Alright, I'm just going to get in there for 6 here. This also makes the Defiant Salvager lethal next turn, which is kind of worth noting. Keeping the Mountain in our hand in case of Implement of Malice, just to play around that a little extra. That's obviously something he could have. It's not something that he's going to have often or has all the time, but Implement of Malice is a card in these decks that you have to be aware of, so just trying to play around it here. This is also not infallible, or I don't know what I'm trying to say, but what I'm trying to say is that it can be killed. So I'm going to try to kill the Daredevil here. Let's see if he has a trick. He doesn't have a trick. Alright, so since he doesn't have a trick, I can just get in with both. Unless his trick is +1/+0 and lifelink. That'd be a pretty good trick. So now I might as well just play out my lands. There's no reason to hold him here. See if he has a way out. Foundry Hornet is not a way out. So again, I just get to attack with both because, well, now I have lethal, I think. I would imagine. Bam. Bam. And the winner of round number 1 is Sam Rubin. So thank you so much for hanging out for round number 1. On to round number 2. See you there. Please go check out my channel in the link in the description down below. And I'll see you for round number 2.